Hey, Victor, this is Daryl.
Hey, do you see me?
Well, let me go look again. They let you in the house? Okay, I see that you're on now. You're muted. Okay, now I see your face. All
We're
right.
good. I think that's everyone. Victor, can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right. Hello, everyone. We are so sorry for the delay. We had technical issues. Had to restart the computer and all that. So thank you for being patient and joining us today for our weekly webinar, the state of your business. We have them every Tuesday at 3 o'clock right here, either on Zoom or Facebook Live. So as you can see, we're in the office today. Our offices are open. However, we're only doing by appointments, so no walk-ins. Also, just a heads up, if you are coming to the Business Assistance Center, that you will be, your temperature will be taken and a face mask is mandatory. So if you do not have a face mask, you will not be able to enter. Just letting you know. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with our business highlighting. We're gonna start off with Astanita Draper from Holmes Draper Consulting Group.
Hello, how are y'all doing?
Good, how are you? Great to see you. Haven't seen you in a while.
It's good to be here, and this is an opportunity that I definitely do not take lightly. To tell you all a little bit about my business, I'm operating now under Holmes Draper Consulting Group, where I offer the services of accounting, tax, and business development. And this is a function of a business. To me, it's a very integral pillar for all small businesses, but that is one that is often taken lightly during this time until needed. And I think right now is the time during when we have, we're in the midst of the pandemic, where there are various PPP loans that are offered, the EIDL loan, grants and things of that sort, where a lot of our business owners are not prepared because they, don't have the financials and do not have the records that are available that they need to actually apply for the various benefits that are out there for them. So I've been in business for 10 plus years. And I've been in the accounting and tax business, in the accounting industry as a whole, my entire profession for over 30 years. So I've worked in corporate. I worked for large corporations all the way to small companies as well. I find it that I enjoy working for smaller businesses more so than a large corporation. Because with a smaller business, you actually see the benefit and the more direct reward that I have working with small businesses. And so I'm located here at 3305 Alta Mesa Boulevard here in Fort Worth, Texas. And I can be reached. My phone number here, someone can reach me, is 817-800-5809. Again, that's 817-800-5809. Or you can reach me. I am on Facebook. The business is on Facebook. So therefore, you can reach me via Messenger, or you can send me an email. The email is Holmes, HOLMES, Draper Consulting Inc. @gmail.com. So like I say, I definitely enjoy working with small businesses. I get receipts in all you name it, I get it in a freezer bag or paper sack. However, you just, any ways you imagine, I get those receipts from clients. And to me, it's like they're actually, those receipts and transactions actually tell a story. Once you put them all together and actually put them in the system and formalize them in the form of financial statements for the customer, it actually tells a story for them. And I consider my services to be like a one-stop shop. I can help clients from incorporating their business to actually running the business, and the business development phase come in because small business owners, they work very diligently and very hard. They know their business, what they offer, but they do not always know and understand the accounting side of the compliance regulation and requirements for that business. So I'm here to serve. I would love if someone is there ready to take their business to the next level with budgeting and planning, setting goals. I'm here to help, and to help them also to ensure that they are compliant, whether that be state and federal compliance.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And thank you for providing this kind of service to our community. I know it's very necessary. If anybody has any questions, please put them either in our chat section in Zoom or in the comment section on live. And we'll get back to you if you have any questions. So at the time, I'm gonna go ahead and go to our next business, but you can feel free to stay on in case we have any questions, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us about your business.
Thank you.
All right. So next we're gonna go with Randall Howard of Howard Construction. Give me 1 second. You're on, there you go.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Randall Howard, and I'm president of RD Howard Construction. We are a second generation business celebrating 74 years in business. And instead of kind of telling you all as Ms. Holmes did, and by the way, Ms. Holmes, very, very proud of the business you're doing, and definitely look forward to meeting you. Instead of telling you all about our business, well, then we have a little video that we did when we celebrated our 70th year in business, and I'm going to try to show you all the video. It's just a short, and then we can answer any questions afterwards.
Is your volume on?
Yes. Can you hear it?
No,
You can't hear it.
no.
Okay, just a moment. Okay, help me out, Mario. You won't hurt my feelings. I'm having to get some technical assistance here myself, so you'll stop share.
After returning home from World War II in 1946, Leroy Howard started RD Howard Construction by building a $40 set of steps. And ever since then, They've done work all over Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana.
Somebody pointed me to Mr. Howard. I got him to put in a curb along the sidewalk. He did that for me. Randall Howard inherited the construction business from his father.
I've known the Howard family for more than 30 years. I would like to congratulate them for being in business for 70 years.
They have done a number of projects at our parish. One of the bigger projects that they've done was they expanded our parking lot and put up pole lights, and they did a really good job. I know they've also done projects around the diocese. I appreciated their honesty and their work.
6 years ago, we completed building a family life and educational center. The R.D. Howard Construction Company played a great role, and I'm honored by the work that he does for our community when he gives back the tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm excited about the bright future that lies ahead.
R.D. Howard also does design, build, construction, and general contracting.
I am Howard proud.
And we're Howard's proud.
And it's not too late to give a donation.
And I'm Howard proud to do design build work for clients like Faith Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church.
Hi, this is David S. Irvin. I've had the privilege of having R.D. Howard Construction come to my house several times. Not only did they do a good job, they're good people.
The company has employed thousands of employees over the years.
I started working with Mr. Leroy Howard, Randy's father. And what I like about Mr. Howard is good church-going person. And I mean, he always believed in doing the right thing. And I never missed a paycheck out of 26 years. If he can help you, he will.
I got a 4-year degree, and I found it very hard trying to find employment. No one really seemed to give me a chance. Having my visual challenges along with other physical challenges. Thanks to Randall Howard, he gave me that opportunity to prove my worth over a 25-year
span. 27 years ago, where Randall offered me an opportunity to be an intern while I was attending Texas Tech University, majoring in construction management. And I'm just grateful that men like Randall Howard and his dad, who just really believed in a young student that so long ago, to where you gave me an opportunity.
Hi, I'm Commissioner Roy Charles Brooks, and I congratulate Howard Construction because Howard gives ex-offenders a chance to work.
Like me.
Like me.
And they've received many awards.
R.D. Howard was one of the first firms to hire women in the construction industry and has offered job opportunities to ex-offenders as part of the company's diversity initiative. The company has also aligned itself with organizations that embrace diversity. It is our pleasure to recognize Randall and R.D. Howard, LLC.
The Howards have always believed in lifting as they climb.
Randall has a passion for helping other minority business owners like me succeed by learning from his mistakes as well as his successes in the business.
Randall Howard helped me start my business. They've assisted me throughout the years, and we've worked on various projects together. And whenever times are tough, and he usually has the right thing to say, and I leave there confident and ready to move forward.
I am T.A. Sims with the Fort Worth ISD, and Mr. Howard has done over 100 contracts for us, spanning over 30 years.
They've also done contracts for the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, TxDOT, and more than 30 other federal, state, and local government agencies. And with Walmart, GM, BNSF, Miller Coors, and countless other Fortune 500 and local businesses. Howard has spun off other businesses.
Hello, I'm Ricky Howard. I grew up doing construction with my dad, and now I'm running the roofing part of the Howard Construction Company. We do residential, churches, apartments, you name it. We're the contractor you need to call when you need a roof.
I'm Brad Brown, president of Austin Commercial. Austin Commercial's had a 27 30-year relationship with R.D. Howard. Beyond being a tremendous partner, they do what they say they're going to do. In Dallas, our history goes all the way back to the Belo corporate headquarters. And then we've worked with them on projects in Irving and on projects for Texas Health Resources, all different types of projects. And then over to Fort Worth, we've worked with them at Acme Brick and other projects in Fort Worth. And then most recently, Proud Project was a $130 million parking garage at Terminal A at DFW. And again, a long-standing partnership that we're very, very proud of.
I'm Matt Pappenfuss, Senior Vice President with Turner Construction.
Luis Spinola, President CEO of Omega Contracting, Inc.
And I'm Randall Howard, President and CEO of R.D. Howard Construction.
The Turner Omega Howard team is a partnership.
I'm excited about the opportunity for our company to take DFW to the next level.
Collectively, we can be an extension to DFW and really embody their vision of connecting the world.
Howard has done construction management partnering with an increasing number of larger firms, and they look to do more partnering in the future.
TxDOT and the Federal Railroad Administration are studying possible locations for the train tracks and stations. Fort Worth Mayor Betsy Price and residents also weighed in what they'd like to see. One man who spoke says he's on board so far.
I think it'd be tremendous. My main focus is to make sure Fort Worth's not left out.
And Randall Howard has served on a couple of city commissions, the board of directors of the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce, the Jubilee Theater, the Black Chamber, the Museum of Science and History, and when it came to renaming the Poly Freeway the MLK Freeway, one of the first checks came from the Howards. For a number of years, the company organized and sponsored the Texas Teen Tour. They took a busload of high schoolers on a 4-day, 3-night, enlightening fun trip to colleges, universities, and historic sites. They joined forces with Balfour Beatty Construction to build the Police and Firefighters Memorial, donating their construction management fees.
The Howards have done a lot for this community.
Thank you for the basketball court.
And on behalf of my late dad and our founder, Leroy Howard, my mother and tireless supporter, Mary Lois Howard, other family members, friends, our employees, and most of all, our customers, we'd like to say thank you for helping us to see 70. As we go forward, seeking new opportunities with local agencies and businesses, the Bells and Lockheeds of the world, and other larger firms seeking a positive, productive partner, we'd like to invite you to call R.D. Howard.
Yeah, because college is expensive.
And shopping for college is too.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that very informative video,
Okay.
Mr. Howard.
Okay, just a second here. I'll need to turn it off.
No, you're good. It's already
Okay,
off.
all right.
So if anybody has any questions for either one of the businesses that we highlighted today, please let us know. They've given you their contact information. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with the economic development portion of our program today. So I'm handing it over to Daryl. Give me 1 second.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Daryl Brewer, the Economic Development Manager for the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, and welcome again to our Tuesday webinar. We're happy to see a couple of our businesses, especially long-term businesses, highlighted. So next, we're coming to our economic development portion. And today, well, before I get into that, I need to make sure that you're aware of a few things. Denise, see if you can get that video, that page for me. While you're getting that, I'm going to mention that there's still about $100 million out there on the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, sponsored through the CARES Act. The deadline for that, you still got a little bit of time, is June 30th to apply. If you have not applied, please do so. And you do it through your local bank. And what Denise has up now is Preserve the Fort. That is money that we have received from the federal government. The deadline has been extended to June 15th at midnight. So please apply. You go to Preserve the Fort, and we will type in the actual address there. But you can just go to Fort Worth, City of Fort Worth, but we'll also go up to Preserve the Fort, and we'll, like I said, we'll put that in the comment section for you. And when you get there, this is a page that pops up, and you can just scroll down. It's basic information. It's just going to include that you're from you have to be from Fort Worth, your business is Fort Worth. If you have up to like 250 employees, that money will be given away at for instance, $5,000 for less than 5 employees, 6 to 25 employees, $7,500, 26 to 50 employees, $10,000, and 51 to 250 employees is up to $50,000. So the application is pretty straightforward. I just want you to know if certain things on there may not seem to apply to you, and that's okay, but it won't let you go to the next phase. So upload a blank piece of paper or a piece of paper that says does not apply so that you can get through the system. Okay, and fill it out correctly and accurately. But if there's something like that that does not apply to you, go on and do that, and then you continue on. It's very important. Again, the deadline has been extended to June 15th at midnight. So please do that. Last, I want to let you know, you can go on to the next thing, back to the other screen, Denise, regular screen. Lastly, I want you to know that if you're in Plano, Collin County, they have money that they are giving away too as a grant. They are using a lottery system versus the system we're using here in Fort Worth, where we have all the chambers and United Way and the city of Fort Worth, where we actually look at you on an individual basis and look at your qualifications and make a determination. So they're using a lottery system. I think we're ensuring that we get down to our local Black and minority-owned businesses. I think this is a more effective way of doing that. So those are the three things: the Preserve the Fort, deadline June 15th, the PPP, that there's still money out there. And if you have money, go ahead and download the application to get those funds forgiven. Go on the SBA website and do that, and find out about Collin County. And the next thing I want to let you know, next up, we have someone from the city of Fort Worth. His name is Victor Turner. He is the director of neighborhood services. Now, if you didn't know what neighborhood services does, it's a good opportunity to find out. They have some money, I can tell you that. So, Victor, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm going to give a brief overview of our department, then share with you a little bit about what we have available in regards to Fort Worth Cares as well, that will primarily be targeted toward households. And I do have a presentation I'd like to share at this time. The mission of our department is to enhance quality of life for residents, and we do that in a variety of ways. Our department primarily is housing, community development, as well as a social service.
Victor, your screen, are you sure? Have you shared your screen? Because it hadn't popped up.
Okay, let's see what I did wrong.
There you go.
You see it?
Yes, and all so right. Now there we go.
Okay. Our department is broken down into 3 major areas: community development, human services, and neighborhood improvement. You all probably are familiar with the Community Development Block Grant Program, CDBG. That does a variety of things. We do public facilities, public services, housing with that program. the Home Investment Partnership Program, which is strictly a housing program. Our Facade Improvement Program is a program that we work with businesses on improving their facade if they face a major quarter. Our NEZ program, Neighborhood Empowerment Zone program, is one that allows for tax abatements for projects, people building houses, multifamily or single family can qualify for that. The lead program, if it's a house pre-1978 and you may have lead-based paint, we have a program to help you in that area. And the Emergency Solutions Grant is a program to address homelessness, whether it's shelters or individuals that are been homeless or in danger of becoming homeless. And then our housing opportunities for persons with is a HOPPER program. It is a program that provides short-term rent, utility, and mortgage assistance for persons that have been diagnosed HIV positive or AIDS. The middle group of programs is our Community Service Block Grant Program. That program you can apply through our community action partners. We have various locations around the city. We serve the entire Tarrant County area. The Comprehensive Emergency Assistance Program is an energy assistance program. And then one of the ones that we're most proud of is our VITA program, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. It's free. We provide assistance to help people get their income tax prepared. We do it for them. So that's one that certainly the community can take advantage of. And then last, the third column, the Neighborhood Improvement Program, we have designated our fourth neighborhood this year, Rosemont. For this program, the city sets aside some property tax dollars to make improvements in areas that we identified, whether it's code enforcement, infrastructure, housing, a variety of things that we make improvements in that neighborhood. And then our alleyway maintenance program, we improve alleyways in the city that have not been maintained. And then lastly, we have a finance corporation that provides assistance for affordable housing, whether it's multifamily or single family. That's separate from our general fund, nonprofit entity that is self-sufficient. The Community Development Council is the organization that makes recommendations to our city council how we utilize our HUD programs. And as I previously mentioned, the Community Action Partners is how you apply for our social service program. Our department has 7 community centers around the city, similar to our Parks Department, but our Community Action Partners are also located there. And we do senior programming and youth athletic programs at those locations. I mentioned earlier about Community Action Partners. We do have a flyer that has information about the program that you can get at any of our community centers or at City Hall. Utility assistance, weatherization, water payments, all those are part of those programs Community Action Partners offer. Previously mentioned the income tax program. The Community Development Block Grant Program, we get over $7 million a year from HUD. The program, you have to meet one of 3 national objectives, which I've listed here: benefit low to moderate income persons, aid in the prevention and elimination of slum and blight, and have an urgent need. Some examples of what the public facilities are and programs that we assisted: park, streets, sidewalks, lighting, are all things that you can do with CDBG dollars for public facilities. Housing rehabilitation, these are 2 that individual residents can take advantage of. Our priority repair program, which is our owner-occupied rehabilitation program, and also our lead safe program. Here are some other programs that we have: the Cowtown Brush Up, which is a painting program, the Preserve a Home program, which is one that's a rehab program, And then REACH is for individuals that may need a wheelchair ramp constructed at their site. Our homebuyer assistance program, at one time, you could only get up to $14,999. Now you can get up to $20,000 for first-time home buyers. You would have to qualify for a mortgage. You have to go through homebuyer counseling. But we feel that this is a program that definitely can help low to moderate income persons acquire a home and start wealth building. Example of the flyer that we have about the program. And back to this, wanted to point out, these are the income limits. For these programs, you have to be low moderate income, adjusted for your household size. As you can see, a family of four could not make over $60,800. And you can see families of sizes of 1 through 8 gives you the income limits that you would have to be at or below. A big part of our community development block grant funds are used for public services, and you can see some examples of those type of services. We partner with nonprofit entities to provide that. And then our housing opportunities for persons with AIDS, which I previously mentioned, these are the type of services that you can get through that program. I mentioned the ESG program, which is for homelessness. The neighborhood improvement program, which I already mentioned, you can see what the goal of that program is, how we fund it. As I mentioned, we've had 4 neighborhoods that have been selected as neighborhood improvement areas, Stop 6, Ash Crescent, Northside, and most recently, Rosemont. And the Fort Worth Cares, Beryl had previously mentioned what our Economic Development Department is doing with Preserve the Fort. Also, prior to that, we released some information about the Coronavirus Relief Fund, where we have $7.2 million set aside for an emergency household assistance program. So families that have been impacted by COVID-19 since March, we have funds available for rent, mortgage, utility assistance, prescription medicine. You go to our website, you'll see this logo and apply online. One thing I want to emphasize is that you must upload documents that we can verify that you have been adversely impacted by COVID. So that means that loss of income, whether you have filed for unemployment, getting unemployment benefits, a letter from your employer showing you have a reduction in wages. There are several examples on the website that tell you what you need to upload, but we cannot process your application if you do not upload the documents. The link is how you get to that. We project to assist about 2,000 households with the $7.2 million. In addition to this, we received another $6.8 million from HUD in CARES Act funding through our Emergency Solutions Grant, Community Development Block Grant Program, and our HOPWA program. Here's how you can access our services. Call any one of those numbers or go to our webpage. How you can apply for our housing programs. That's an overview of our department. I will say, as part of our programs, we have a special designation for nonprofits. They must be designated as a 501c3. They could potentially be certified as a community housing development organization, which is called a CHODO. Those organizations, we have to set aside at least 15% of our home investment partnership program dollars for those entities that have been certified as CHODOs to develop affordable housing. Currently, we have 2 organizations in Fort Worth with that designation. So if there are nonprofits out there that Their mission is to create affordable housing. Certainly invite you to apply for certification. Our staff is willing to work with you on completing the application to get that certification, and then you can access those dollars to whether it's rehabilitation or constructing new affordable housing. Any questions? You're muted, Daryl.
You're still muted. And I don't have any questions on my side. There's none in the chat nor on Facebook Live.
Okay, Denise, can we go back to both his screen and our screen together or something like that? I tell you what, it's exciting, man. That's a whole lot of stuff you gave out. It's unbelievable, really, the number of programs that fall under your care. Now, we're happy that you're here to administer them. And I just almost don't know. So where do I start? So the Farscape improvement for business. So does the business just need to be anywhere in Fort Worth or within a particular zone?
They can be in Fort Worth. Contact our office here at City Hall. We will go out and look at the business and work with you on how we can assist you with that program. And as I mentioned earlier, the facade improvement program it has to be facing a major thoroughfare. So the staff will work with you on making that determination.
Okay, I have somebody in mind. That's why I was asking. All right, so talk to me about more about community action partners, maybe what other partners you have that can affect our communities, and how does that work? So do they need to go to the community action partner to try to figure? So help me out with that in a little more detail.
Yeah, so our CAP agencies, the Community Action Partner agencies, you can go to any one of our 8 locations, I believe. For assistance, we also have an office in Arlington. And as I mentioned, some of the major things they help with are utility assistance, energy assistance. It's a social service program.
Okay.
Energy is funded through Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, but federally funded by the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Energy.
Okay, so if there's anyone out there who's having some issues paying the utilities, rent, and those types of things, whether it's you or someone you know, get in contact with your office. Is that right?
Absolutely. Through our CAP agencies, and also the Fort Worth CARES program, that $7.2 million I mentioned, we're also providing assistance for rent, mortgage, utilities, provided you were impacted by COVID.
Awesome. I tell you, it's so much. Okay, so now you have the neighborhood improvement zone. And I heard you mention Rosemont, and I also heard you mention Stop 6. Rosemont is current and was Stop 6 in the past. Is that what I understood?
Yeah, Stop 6 was the first area that was designated for the program that, as I mentioned, is funded by the half-cent property tax. We work with our police department, codes, parks, transportation, public works. So basically we infuse cash in a neighborhood to act as a catalyst for future development. So we make improvements to the infrastructure, streets and sidewalks. We make improvements to the just overall appearance of the neighborhood through our code enforcement staff. So we do a lot of things with those dollars. Crime prevention. So we put in security cameras and lighting to deter crime. And we've seen some drastic improvements in the areas that we have invested these dollars. We designate one neighborhood per year. We look at a variety of factors, education, socioeconomic factors to make that selection.
Okay, awesome. Now, I heard you say something that really caught my attention because you said you have community centers which are different from the Park and Rec Center.
Yeah, they're similar in some aspects and different in others. At one time, all of the centers were part of our Park and Recreation Department. When Neighborhood Services was created, some of those centers came with the department. We do have our community action partners location at many of those centers. So the social service aspect is provided through some of those centers. So that what makes it a little bit different than just our rec center.
So can you tell me off the top of your head, I'm putting you on the spot here, the names of the community action centers?
Now you're gonna make me go share your screen.
Well, yeah, I understand. Because people, I didn't know. And,
I believe in the presentation, it listed all of them.
Okay.
And I'll flip through it.
Yeah, if you could just tell us so that people will know. I'm probably guessing that maybe the Hanley one, because I'm thinking those are all the ones that people kind of maybe think of as for seniors, is what I'm guessing, but I could be way off. That's why I'm asking.
So those include Andrew Dock Session, which is on Sylvania, 201 South Sylvania, Como at 4660 Horn Street, Martin Luther King Center at 5565 Truman, Northside Community Center at 1100 Northwest 18th Street, North Tri-Ethnic Center at 2950 Roosevelt, Southside Center at 959 East Roosevelt.
Rosedale?
Location I mentioned in Arlington at 401 West Sanford, and then our Worth Heights location, which is under rehabilitation right now at 3551 New York Avenue.
So that's interesting. I think that maybe explains some things that I've heard in the community in questions, because I'm from Stop 6 out where, so that's the Martin Luther King Center. And when I grew up, we played basketball in that bad boy at different times. And then it seems like now it's not open much for that type of activity. So, because it seems to me that maybe the mission has changed from recreation to more social services. So can you talk about that? Or do you have any insight on kind of the difference between that center versus a rec center versus the community action type?
Yeah, I think we offer a combination of services at the Martin Luther King Center. We also have the Envision Center, which is a HUD initiative that is located at Martin Luther King that help residents coordinate services and provide them with guidance on how to access services. We also host the Freedom School, which is a summer educational enrichment program at the Martin Luther King Center, as well as the CAP location. So it's not all recreation, it's primarily social services, as you mentioned, but we still have a mix of recreation because we run our summer day camp in many of our community centers as well.
Okay, the reason that this becomes, and this may not be in your court, but one of the things that's been an issue out there, we have, the crime in terms of gang activities. One of the things that some have said that would help is if there was midnight basketball, for instance, and later times in the evening where young men could work off some of that steam. And it just seems as though that's not available like it was, in the 70s and 80s when I was younger, because of my age, but that maybe could be very helpful in, lowering these issues of gang activity, crime, what have you, because it gives them some place to go and something to do rather than hanging out on the street.
Yeah, we still offer our Fort Worth at 6 program, which is similar to what you're talking about, which is a program that addresses youth and offering activities for them in the evening that goes on into the night somewhat. So I think that's similar to what you're mentioning.
Fort Worth at 6, and that's at MLK.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we need to make sure we get that information out to the public. Fort Worth at 6. Okay, all right. So now you told me you have the. I know we're getting close on time here, but you have the reach where you were giving out help out with wheelchairs. Well, you got to have a lot of knowledge with everything that you guys do. Someone asked me about an adjustable chair, like in the home, because the person had a difficult time getting up and down. Transition, I heard that word, up and down from sitting to walking. So is that something that y'all help out with as well?
Oh, this more so is to provide them access from whether it's their driveway or sidewalk leading to their house into their home. You know, you've seen wheelchair ramps, and that's what they're doing. I think what could be a possibility is part of our rehabilitation program, if there's some means to make some modifications to the home within the dollar amount that we have allocated for that. That's a possibility we could help in that area.
Okay. All right. So then I think I was also looking at the home buyer assistance program. I think I've heard of that at different times over the years. I think it's interesting that you that it's a maximum of $60,000 ish for a family of 4. I kind of wonder what size house, what size mortgage that person would qualify for at that amount of money.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the 60,000 is the area median income for a family of 4, up to 80% of area median income, and that is a HUD requirement to get that assistance. They can't be above 80% of area median income.
So that means it's really more like 40,000. Is that right? 45 or something?
No, 60 would be the max they can make.
Okay.
If a household 18 or over, and then they would go to a mortgage company and apply for a mortgage just like any of us would to see the maximum mortgage that they qualify for.
Okay.
This basically, you know, down payment, closing costs, those types.
Sure. I mean, that's awesome, because that is a barrier a lot of times from home ownership. So the last thing we talked, the chodos, where I think you told me there were a couple of those here.
Right. As I mentioned, that is one aspect of the Home Investment Partnership Program, is that nonprofit entities that mission is affordable housing, they can apply to get certified as a community housing development organization. There's a checklist of items that they must meet, that HUD requires that they meet before they can become certified. And one of the key ones is their board makeup. The board has to be made up of at least 1/3 that either represent a low-income organization, live in a low-income area, or be low-income themselves. So it's that part of the board has to be present. Also, paid staff. So it's not an organization that's run by volunteers. It has to be a living, breathing organization that is out functioning, developing housing, or if they're not in housing right now, they are providing some service to the community, and then they could hire someone that has that development capacity to be part of their team.
Wow. I tell you, it's amazing the number of things that you're working on that's under your guidance. Denise, do we have any questions from the audience?
We do. So while you were speaking on the Emergency Household Assistance Program for the CARES Act, the mayor, actually, Betsy Price, she posted it on Facebook. So I already shared it. It's on our Facebook page. So if you're interested in applying, it's on there. Just go look. We do have a question from one of our newest board members. Her name is Stay Hall. She said, is there an opportunity to receive help with completing any of the applications for those who may need assistance? Just asking because not everyone in need necessarily has computer access.
Can you repeat the question?
She's asking, is there an opportunity to receive help with completing any of the applications for those who may need assistance? Just asking because not everyone in need necessarily has a computer access.
Yeah, absolutely. You can access it if you have a smartphone. You can access the application with that. Or if not, we have a number that you can call that staff can help them. We even have a hard copy of the application that you can complete and submit it at any of our locations.
Awesome. So we have one more question from Dave Olenek. He's actually a manager at the Sheraton, big Black Chamber supporter. So hi, Dave. He said, can you tell us about the Neighborhoods USA coming in May of 2021?
Yes, you're talking about NUSA. Actually, our very own Catherine Huckabee, part of our community engagement team, is the national president of Neighborhood USA. It is a national organization that neighborhood associations and neighborhood leaders are a part of. The conference rotates around the country annually. In fact, it was going to be in my previous place of residence in Little Rock this past year, and it was canceled because of the pandemic. But yeah, it'll be coming here in Fort Worth next year. It's generally about 800 or 900 attendees. It is an excellent conference for those that are involved in improvements to their neighborhood and involved in neighborhood associations to attend. You pick up a lot of ideas from different communities from around the country. They have awards for neighborhood associations that have done some innovative things in their various neighborhoods. So yeah, it will be an excellent conference for Fort Worth. A lot of folks coming in from around the country.
Great. So that's actually all of our questions that we have for right now.
Okay, I tell you what, Victor, it's been awesome having you. We appreciate the wealth of knowledge that you're bringing to our community, and really we thank the city of Fort Worth for having all of these services available to the public, to our citizens. And I'm happy to be able to be part of getting that information to our citizens. So I hope that anyone who's on this site, on this webinar, will forward this information, will share it with other people, will refer them back to this webinar to provide them with the information that they need to make their lives a little bit better. So again, thank you, Victor Turner with Neighborhood Services of the City of Fort Worth. Thank you again.
Thank
you. Have any parting words for us, Victor?
No, I want to just say thank you for having me. And as I mentioned earlier, those that have been impacted by the pandemic, please visit our website for assistance. Remember to upload your documents. If you don't have access to a computer, contact us and we'll work with you to try to get that assistance to you.
All right, thank you. And just a reminder again to everyone out there about Preserve the Fort. The deadline to apply is June 15th at midnight. And again, it's for businesses here in Fort Worth. And we're really looking at small businesses, so please apply. You may think that it's challenging, but it really is not. If you have any problems, please call me here at the office or email me. My office number is 817-871-6558. 817-871-6558, or you can email me at dbrewer@fwmbcc.org. That's dbrewer@fwmbcc.org. And with that, I'm going to hand you back to Denise so she can close us out.
All right, well, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Victor, for all that great information. Daryl, thank you so much again. I want to thank all of y'all for joining us again. Like I mentioned, we have our weekly webinars every Tuesday at 3 o'clock right here, either on Zoom or Facebook Live. If you are not already a part of the chamber, if you want to become a member of the chamber, let me know. I am the membership service director for the Fort Worth Black Chamber. And we'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all so much.